Welcome everybody to the Unionville Historic District meeting and committee meeting. This is the March 2nd, 2023 meeting. And we're going to have a motion here to accept the meeting minutes from last month, which I wasn't there.
As long as you read them, you can vote, Bob, because we'll need you.
Okay. Do I hear a motion for it?
I motion to approve.
The minutes as delivered. And I'll second that.
Second.
All right. We have two guests with us today. Not guests anymore. They're part of the group. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thanks for having me.
More we need, the better off we are. So if you read the minutes, everybody read the minutes by now? I got them up there.
I can scroll.
Just take a moment to review the minutes. For a quiet meeting, there was a lot of verbiage there.
We talked a lot about the
My name.
Yeah, I never heard from them afterwards, Bob. I don't know if they're waiting or.
Well, they're gonna have to do something because it's starting to fall down.
Yeah.
Those are your neighbors, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't do anything, well, we'll probably be putting in a COA for a fence up. Has everybody read the minutes by now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All righty. Any changes, deletions, or other comments? The only thing I had was that approval of the minutes back in January. Yeah, I was there then, so that was good. But
I'm sorry, Bob. I'll look at my notes. You weren't there for the vote. I'll fix that.
okay, thank you.
Sorry, I missed that one.
Any other changes or deletions or corrections? All right, then we can move on to the other business.
Oh, we need a vote, Bob.
All right.
So we had Steve motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Minutes are approved. All right, now other business. I don't have anything. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I know they're working on the bridge again. They're putting in the posts on the downriver side of the bridge, I believe. So and that's all. And I know the sign. Bruce and Shannon were working on how big the lettering was going to be for the sign and everything before it gets carved and everything for the sign to go up for the pocket park. So we're waiting on that still. And then once
Everybody know where the pocket park is?
No,
It's
that's gonna be my
I'm
question.
sorry, I will show you.
It's a property that was acquired from the torn down liquor store on the corner of New Britain Avenue and
Yep.
Plainville Avenue.
Right across from Puente.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So what are we doing there?
So there's a pocket park. So this building obviously has been torn down. So the town owns the property now. We've put in a concrete walkway connecting through this corner. There's 2 bench pads with space for wheelchairs. A bike rack will be installed, and then there's a nut-shaped concrete pad, like a bolt nut, in the center. Where will be a gateway sign. It's a black sign, black post with the image of the bridge on top, and it'll say "Welcome to Unionville" on the front, which faces South Main Street, and then on the back there'll be information about the history of Unionville, the flood of 1955. And there'll also be a QR code that you can scan to get more information, I believe. So the benches are in, the concrete's in, we're just waiting on the sign to be manufactured. And once that's done, it'll be installed, and there'll be a ribbon cutting ceremony with the economic development coordinator, because it used AARP funds, not American Rescue Plan and AARP. It was a grant that paid for the sign. So that's that.
Is that going to scroll up and down?
No. It'll be a static sign.
Okay.
No electronic signs in Farmington, Bob.
Yeah, I know. Lucky you can put signs up.
All right. So then next up is the walking tour brochure, unless anyone has anything for me.
Steve, I believe you have something. You were going to go and check with the museum?
I do, yeah, and it's ongoing. We're working with the 2 Anns, and Vibert Wolfing and Anne Raymond. And Vibert Wolfing is here with us. She plays on both teams, the museum and the Historic District Commission, so key player. And she's got the keys to the archives and knows the archives very well. And Anne Raymond is a board member and very active, enthusiastic researcher. And she's really introduced Barbara and I to a lot of online resources, which has been very helpful. We're due for another meeting with them in the next week or 2. But just last week, like I was chatting about before the meeting started, Barbara Marsh and I took another walk up and down Lovely Street. And it's a challenging walk because unfortunately the sidewalks are kind of in poor condition. It's not going to be easy for people who need any kind of walking assistance, whether it's a cane or walker. I don't really even feel that they're safe for a wheelchair.
Let's back up here a minute for our new members that they want to put on a walking tour, which is already in the works of being published. Lovely Street and the houses that are on.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't give much of an introduction. I jumped right into it.
That's okay.
But it's one of the newest historic districts that the Historic District Commission and Properties Commission is trying to establish. I believe there's currently only a total of 6 homes, private residences that are in the district presently. But what's unique about Lovely Street and pretty exceptional is that there's 19th century houses on that stretch from the very downtown center, from the Tunxus Firehouse brick building and the Masonic building at the corner of Main. That's your gateway, and heading up the hill all the way to Sherman Avenue and the Avon line. So there's mostly Victorian and a few choice Greek Revival styles, but there's 19, quite a cluster. And then there's of course the 2 municipal buildings at the gate at the entrance to Lovely Street, which are also 19th century And then there's 3 early 20th century that are over 100 years old. And those are Colonial Revival with a gambrel roof. And one of those is a Parsons House, which is a fairly old name in town and also interconnected with industry. So we're pretty proud about introducing this new district, and we've got some mock-ups, trifold paper brochure already. We have a draft of that. But last meeting, Matt Ross introduced us to an app, an online app called Pocket Sites. And he's already set up, I believe it's nine
I think
of
it's-
the, is it 9 or no?
We're up to 12.
Oh,
Oh.
12. Yeah. 12, which include a church that's no longer there, which was adjacent to, next to the Tunxus Firehouse. And it includes the municipal buildings too. But what Barbara really wanted me to ask, and unfortunately Matt's not here, but because the paper brochure is very limiting as far as the numbers of houses or buildings that we can represent, portray, and picture, and the graphics are very limited too in a space of a trifold brochure. But on this website, I think we should load it up, and we both feel strongly that even though a lot of these residences aren't in the historic district, aren't designated as historic sites, that we still would like to show them and on this application, and during our museum exhibit in June and July, that collaborative exhibit that we're going to be doing this summer. So Matt is the only administrator so far because we have the free version of this app. So we're going to ask him if we can load it up, and we'd like 24 buildings listed on this virtual tour. And it'll be nice for people to have, whether they visit the museum exhibit or not. During the exhibit, which is June 11th to July 16th or something like that. I forget the dates exactly. We're going to be doing some tours from the museum, at least 2, hopefully more. And then we can be doing tours before or after the museum exhibit. And then this app will allow people to do it on their own. So, as far as the brochure or the exhibit goes, as I said, it's ongoing, and we're excited about it. We have a lot of help from museum staff and their archives, and we're learning about new resources online too. And would welcome anybody who likes to do research and is interested in architectural history and social history of the families that have occupied many of these houses on Lovely Street, many of whom were real pioneers in the industrial development of the town. So, and also I need to be a crossing guard. I'm going to have to sacrifice myself. Luckily, the one time we're going to have to cross between Merriman and Sanford, there's a blind spot there. There's also a blind spot at that cross at the bottom of Sylvan. As you know, Kelly, that's a dangerous one. Didn't one of our neighbors get hit in that crosswalk?
Bob Sweats got hit there
Yeah, yeah. At the bottom of Sylvan.
in Sylvian. Yeah, he lives on Sylvian Avenue. And
Yeah.
Can I
really hit
say,
hard.
Please.
I was just curious. I just had a couple, this sounds very exciting. I just had a couple of questions.
Yeah.
When you were showing that app, Stephen, what is that linked to? Is there, it looks like there's a link for more info. Is it, what does that look like? Is that a site through does that go like to the Unionville Museum, or where it says read more, like Unionville Center, and then you can click on number 1 down there, and then there's a little bit to read about, and then it says read more.
Hold on. I will show.
I'm curious. I was just kind of curious about, what what that looks like. That was my first question.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I gotta log in and do something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Garrett might be better suited.
I'm sorry. That's okay. You don't have
No,
to do.
no,
I was
no.
just sort of curious.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
We
and
did it
then-
last meeting, and
Yeah.
Matt did it, and Matt's not
Oh.
here this week, so,
Oh, that's
or
okay.
this month.
Yeah, he's the administrator. I only have
Yeah, that no
one
worries.
day experience with it, but I'm very pleased with it.
Is-
You all right?
and
But-
then
Hmm.
so the idea is for promotion that there'll be the event at the museum, and then I don't know, is there going to be like a QR code for people to scan or something like along those lines?
Recording in progress.
Possibly a QR code. We're gonna try to push people to upload this free app,
Yep.
Pocket Sites. And there was a little bit of discussion on whether we could get the town to get a more thorough, in-depth version of this app,
Mhm.
where many people can use it. There can be multiple administrators, and we can apply it to all the historic districts.
Yeah.
But I like that QR. There's a QR code on our.
On your sign, you mentioned there's going to be, I didn't know what that was
Yeah.
for.
Certainly at the museum, and then there's a QR code on the paper brochure draft
Yeah.
that we already have printed. Offering self-guided tours is certainly a really good way to promote interest.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I don't know what the media plan is with the museum, but it instantly made me think about, obviously the patch, but also they do those, state of Connecticut does, those special places to find in the state, those hard to find, this is something that's interesting. I mean, I've done some of the tours in Farmington, and those are all people led. I don't know anything about an app where anyone can just go and learn about, the homes. I think that's, I find it interesting. I think people would appreciate that, and they don't even, and I think people outside of Farmington don't think about Unionville as a historic district as much. That's just my kind of just opinion. Like Farmington Main Street, I think is very well known, but I could be wrong. Oh, that looks good. That's nice.
What
Yeah.
we've done in the past is we've set up several walking tours and printed out a booklet. The booklets are available, I believe, in the library and also at the museum. And do they still have them there at the museum?
Excuse me? In here.
Do they have those brochure, the little pamphlets we handed out with walking tours on? I believe there were 6 walking tours already in there.
Yes.
And we were in the process of adding this walking tour, which was an area which we had not included in the previous book.
Right.
So what we want to do is make this available so that everyone can have access to it.
Yeah.
And walk on their own if they would like.
Yeah.
Also, that's what we're planning for, is a a group walk, taking groups. Now, last time when we
Yeah.
did the walking tour of a group, Lisa took care of it and she did it on a website and you could sign up on this website. And I don't remember the name of the website.
Was it Sign Up Genius? Most likely.
I don't
Think-
remember.
I think that's what some people have been using in the past. That's my phone's.
And we had so
What
many
if-
people, we had to turn them away.
Huh.
I was gonna say, what about doing sign up through, could we connect with like Farmington Continuing Ed? I mean, they already have the whole website to sign up. They can limit how many people. It could be free. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there,
I like that. Yeah.
just so that way you don't have to have a separate administrator. I have no idea if they allow that or whatever, but just a thought.
Mhm.
I think Matt would be the person to talk to about that, probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Matt Ross is on the commission. He's
Mhm.
also the technology director. for
I knew I
Farmington Public
recognized
Schools.
his name. I
Yeah.
knew. Yeah.
So
Okay.
so obviously if he's a technology
Right.
director, he's the one that found the pocket sites, and he's the one that's been kind of designing the there you go. The pamphlet that we've been trying to do, but then we were trying to fit more homes on it, so that's who he found the pocket sites app. And then I'm assuming he's got some connection with the continuing education page. The planning department works with the economic development department, which runs the Explore Farmington Facebook and Instagram pages. So we could definitely share
Okay.
there. I know the Green Efforts Commission did something recently with them. So it's definitely a way to get the word out. I don't think we had thought about the continuing education before, but I tried to talk to Matt before I left today, but he was in his office. So I can certainly inquire with him about that. I'm assuming he's got some connection, or at least he's got a contact that might be able to do something. Because I think there are groups that just put in, "Oh, we're doing a bus trip to wherever." I'm sure the town organization.
The folks that work out of the depot building, I think they do the brochure out of there, I believe. I'm not sure, I'm just trying to think of who I
That's
know
where
that.
it works.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So yep. My neighbor's over there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that way too, you just have I don't know. We'll see what he says. Start with that, I guess.
We also had it in the town newsletter of these opportunities to sign up.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Also in the town newsletter, we also reference the website where you could sign up. So that's probably why we had so many people.
Yeah. Well, it's just if it comes across, like I know, even though I know this is not a library event, but everything has a sign up now online. It's just easier. And I know most people are just kind of scrolling through their phone or their iPad or something, spot it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, if the town does it, then you sort of have people signing up and it's like, they acknowledge where they're doing and everything. It's not just like, I don't know. I know you mentioned some safety concerns. So
Well, hopefully we'll get new sidewalks with all this interest.
by June.
And increased traffic. It really, I mean, it's not just the two blind crosswalks. It's actually the sidewalks where it just dips and it's treacherous because you're looking up, you're looking at the architecture,
Yeah.
and you're walking, and you it's not really safe because there's tree, divot holes where people recently removed trees adjacent to the sidewalk, and it's just very poorly paved. And anyway,
I'll have to
there's
take a
always
walk.
going to be, I mean, with these apps and this technology, there's going to be a lot of people, who would rather do a self-guided tour, and that's great. But there's always going to be interest in an actual group tour with a guide or two, and and we should never stop doing that.
Right, right. No, definitely.
And there's a whole contingency of Luddites, you know, who just don't embrace the technology, and
Right.
a lot of that demographics are people who you know, who just would rather walk.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, well, especially if who's ever walking, if they can add more history or context, that's always better than just reading, you know, so, yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Steve, the last time we did the walking tour of Unionville, they had orange flags, and I was one of them with the orange flag
Oh, good.
for traffic purposes. Even if you were in the walk, you had the orange flags to wave to slow people down.
Trust me. Yeah, we're going to need them. We're
Yes.
definitely going to need them. Yeah.
I'll check with the PD about that, Bob. Because I'm all I can think of is the ones on Main Street in front of the
Mhm.
church.
I don't think
Right.
those are for us.
I was hoping you didn't steal those, but
No,
Right.
they wouldn't be too happy.
But it's also important to have the actual paper brochures too, you know, at the library, at the town hall, at the senior center, at the museum. Again, for those people who just
Mhm.
are not embracing the tech,
Yeah.
you know,
How
yeah.
how do those, who designs those, or how do those get printed? I'm just curious.
so previously, I think we had a company design them, and then what happened is we had a bunch of walking tours. I think there's 4. So we were able to get sponsors from Sanford and Hawley and the attorney of Scully, Nixon, and Reeve, which are both in Unionville. And they sponsored the printing of the pamphlets, and that's how we got them all printed in the first place. The commission had talked about this, about getting formal printing done. We advised against it just because it's only one tour, and that if we do a couple tours and then reprint the entire booklet with new tours in it, then that'd be much, obviously it'd be more expensive, but it's a much bigger deal, and we'd be getting a lot more out of it, because now you'd have a booklet with 8 walking tours, or at least adding more homes to the tours that we hadn't had before.
Right. So other than that,
That's where you are.
research is still happening. You know, we're compiling information and collecting photographs, and yeah, collaborating with the museum folks. Yeah, pretty excited.
Very good.
Do the current residents, are they participating, or is this just through archives?
Just through archives.
Yeah, I was just, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people, when we did the other books, the people whose homes were in that walking tour area would supply us with stuff of their own, and comments and stories that went with their home, because it was so interesting.
Yeah.
I know Lisa's home was one of them. And
Yeah, Lisa's at 99, right across from Merriman, the brown shingle folk Victorian.
right. And they told the story of how part of their house came up Farmington Avenue because it wasn't originally there. They added it on.
Yeah.
The one that's on the south side, it has been added on since they first moved in there anyway, before they moved in there.
That's a good point. I mean, I should go knocking on doors too, because they may have some photographs that aren't in the archives. Maybe they have some documentation that's not in the archives, or some kind of archaeological find. You know, so that's an important resource that you don't want to overlook. It's true. And And it's also a good opportunity to try to recruit more people to
Join the-
designate their house as well. So,
Yes.
I was just thinking of everyone walking up and gawking and having people say, "What is going on?" But
Yeah.
I'm just a new person, so I'm sorry if I'm asking too many questions. You just
not at all.
Okay,
You
okay.
have to anticipate these things, and you don't want to trespass, and you don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
Perhaps there should be a little warning. I live in the neighborhood too, and I could
Invite them on the tour.
yeah.
Give you you have the first round. No,
Yeah,
it's
on
easy.
these dates, you may see
That's right.
people with binocular. No,
Put out cookies and lemonade, please. No.
right.
No, I don't think we'll go that far.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you have any more questions on that?
No, I'm
That's
good.
good
I'll
point.
save them for next time.
Thank you.
But
Okay. Barbara will be here. She'll be able to fill you in too. Barbara lives in Farmington Woods,
okay.
and she's a big plus for our group. She's very helpful.
Yeah.
She's the vice chair. And Lisa Johnson, well, she's well known for history of the town now, and has worked at Stanley Whitman House for several
Oh.
years.
That's right. Town historian.
So do we have any other business that we want to talk? Certainly happy that you joined us.
Thank you.
The
Just-
ticket is the same as ours, so
Just a quick note for everyone. So the next meeting will be April 13th, as opposed to the 6th when it would normally be held. And then I won't be here for that meeting, but Shannon will cover that meeting for me. I'll be away that week.
Bless.
So just a heads up.
Okay.
very good.
And I'll send out a reminder earlier than normal, just say the meeting's not this week, it's next week. Just because it's normally the first Thursday, it'll be the second Thursday. I think it was a town council meeting, or it was the budget or something. I don't remember. It was something with the town council, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Conflicting. Yeah.
It's the holiday too.
Yes, Holy Thursday. So
Mhm.
I'll probably send out an email just to make sure that we'll have. Oh, that's the 6th. That's the holiday, not
Yes,
the
Yeah.
13th.
yeah.
We'll be fine for the 13th.
Rachel, do you live in an old house?
Yeah, I think my house was built in 1760.
Wow.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get you on the tour.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not, I'm on Main Street. I'm so free. Right there. I'm pointing like you can see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right there, Rich.
Right there.
Wow.
Yeah, 1760. And I've done some research back to the 1800s, but I haven't finished the last 100 years of my house.
God.
Wow.
You back up to the canal, the old canal bed.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, that's just filled with knotweed that invades my yard.
So no archaeological digging, just
No.
invasive species
Yeah.
battling and
Yeah.
wow.
You know, the canal is across the street from us here on Cottage Street. They used to go swimming in it.
Oh wow.
The kids used to go swimming in that, and that's before the pool that was at the end of our street.
Oh.
Wasn't it called something? Wasn't it like Lover's Leap or something that was called? I thought I remember seeing a sign in Suburban Park about that.
Hmm.
This little trail here.
Yeah, there's the one that goes along the brook.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Huh.
But there was a pond up there, so that's
Yes.
probably why they called it the leap. It is quite steep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's a literal cliff off the back of Extension Street. Yeah. Suburban Park.
Gary, do you know what they're doing on West Avon Road?
Yes, it's a state project. They're replacing the,
Culverts.
yes, I don't remember. I thought it was further up.
What is that little tributary? It's a little tributary that runs along West
It's
Avon
Lion.
that joins Roaring Brook. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
here's Roaring Brook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Might not be on here.
There's a lot of there's
I think it's this one. Is it this or this one? I think it's this one, right? Just past.
yeah. It begins at the entrance to Lions
Right.
Lions Club.
Yeah, so it's right here. So yeah, so the state's I think they cleared all right here.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
gonna replace both of these culverts under the road. West Avon Road will be closed for 10 days, I believe.
Mm.
But so there'll be a heads up before then, but it's a state project. So I know a few people have called because they were clearing land. So I talked to our engineering department,
Wow.
and yeah, they did clear a lot of land as far as I haven't gone
Yeah.
up West Avon Road recently, but I've heard it was a lot more than they probably needed to, but it's the state. So
Yeah. Well, you have to get heavy equipment in there.
right, because they've got to rip it all out and then put in new
Yeah.
culverts. So I
Yeah.
think the state's going through and doing a lot of them over the next few years.
Mhm.
Which they're probably all put in at the same time anyway, so they probably need to be replaced anyway.
Yeah, that's where, well, up farther by the driveway of Happy Hill there, the water comes across from Farmington Woods,
Mhm.
goes onto the other side of West Avon Road, and then heads back into
Hmm.
Suburban Park area.
See.
Or it's the Memorial Pool or Lions Memorial.
Right. Right. So it crosses West Avon Road twice in a very
Twice, so they're gonna have to
Right.
dig up both spots if they're gonna
Hmm.
be consistent.
Yeah, so far I've only heard about this one. I don't know about up here. Oh, sorry, that might be too much.
Yeah.
You're right there. Sorry. Yeah, that's what's going on there. So I think in the next few months it'll happen, but there'll be notice before then that West Avon Road will be closed, and I hope it's less disruptive than when they replaced the water line on Route 4.
right. Yeah.
Okay, anybody
right.
else have any more business? If not, we'll have a motion to close our meeting. Adjourn.
I motion.
Do I hear a
I
second?
second. I second.
Thank you. It's Kelly, and anyone who wants to stick around can stay. All in favor, say aye. Leaving.
I
Aye.
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 And we can adjourn till the 13th of April.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.
Thanks,
You
Gary.
too.